Hello there, good evening, how are you? Welcome, it's Bob. It's Tuesday night and it's the 16th, apparently, of June. And welcome to BOBCAST. Actually, I want to call this Grrrr cast, or maybe even Scamcast. Because yes, this worldly wise old devil, I don't know whether I've been scammed or whether I've just been had. One or the other. But anyhow, the story is, and I put it on my Facebook because I spent 2.5 hours today from 5ish to about half past 7 in a queue waiting to speak to Barclaycard. That's Barclaycard, who's said if I kept queuing, then they would speak to me. About 2.5 hours later, I gave up, and then when I rang back again, they closed. So, and the reason for that was that about a month ago, just over 6 weeks ago perhaps, there was an advert on Facebook for Echo shoes. I like Echo shoes, Echo shoes, Echo shoes, Echo shoes. I like Echo shoes, and I also like Echo sandals. Don't go there, I don't wear them with socks. I know. And so they were a very good price. They were sort of big discounts, so I ordered them. I ordered a pair of shoes and a pair of sandals. I have to confess, it was just after I ordered the pair of shoes that I found 2 pairs of shoes in boxes, brand new, never opened, that I didn't know I had. But anyhow, there we are. That's a bye story. Just call me Bob Marcos. By the way, somebody said to me it's impossible to make a pun about vegetables. Well, I'm not necessarily sure about that. To my toes, I'll leave my feet. And I think that's about as many as I can do, apart from Mr. Broccoli, of course, who made the James Bond films. So I ordered them, and I ordered them I used my Barclaycard to pay for them. The money was taken, and it was about £33, I was told, which then changed to euros. And then when it came through on my Barclaycard I saw today, when the account came in, it had gone up to 41 quid, and it was a firm in Dar es Salaam, and no sign of the things I'd ordered. When I tried to respond to the email they sent me, Safari couldn't find the server, etc., etc. Googled the company name, which was Eco Stores, ECCO stores.com, Echo Stores, on Facebook, still there. Actually, I think they've gone now, not there now. When I Googled them, up it came with huge numbers of things. This is a scam, we didn't get our money back, etc., etc., etc. So I contacted the fraud department of Barclaycard, because I only saw my statement 3 o'clock perhaps, as on a Zoom, and I was looking at my statement came in. And I saw that, I thought, that's a bit odd, 41 quid for that. Anyhow, bottom line is, I've been done. So, if you think something's so cheap it's not true, you're probably right. Tis so cheap, it's not true. So there we go. I keep having this dream about a horse in full battle armor. Actually, it's not a dream, it's more of a nightmare. Right, I think that's more than enough of that. Did I promise you stories about cars? I did, didn't I? And, we've had all sorts of things about cars. There was a lovely poem, or story about the minister who was going to a crematorium that had never been to before, so he had his sat-nav on his phone. Anyhow, it took him all the way there to the crem, and as he was driving to the crem, there it is. So he raced in, forgot to switch the sat-nav off, and did all the magic, pressed the button, and just as he pressed the button, he suddenly heard his sat-nav in the corner saying, "You have reached your final destination." So talking of sat-nav, the wonderful Pam Ayres made a recent poem about sat-navs, and I thought I would share it with you, because you're going to get 2 poems tonight, a story. So this is by Pam Ayres, I think in 2016. I have a little sat-nav, it sits there in my car. A sat-nav is a driver's friend, it tells you where you are. I have a little sat-nav, I've had it all my life. It's better than the normal ones, my sat-nav is my wife. It gives me full instructions, especially how to drive. It's 60 miles an hour, it says. You're doing 65. I could have written this. It tells me when to stop and start and when to use the brake, and tells me that it's never ever safe to overtake. It tells me when a light is red and when it goes to green. It seems to know instinctively just when to intervene. It lists the vehicles just in front and all those to the rear, and taking this into account, it specifies my gear. I'm sure no other driver has such a helpful device, for when we leave and lock the door, it still gives its advice. It fills me up with counselling, each journey's pretty fraught, so why don't I exchange it and get a quieter sort? Ah well, you see, it cleans the house, makes sure I'm properly fed, it washes all my shirts and things and keeps me warm in bed. Despite all these advantages and my tendency to scoff, I only wish that now and again I could turn the sat-nav off. Those are not my words, I'm just reading them, they're Pam Ayres. And yeah, I thought it was quite nice. I like that. Made me giggle when I saw it. And yeah, it was all right, really, wasn't it? So cars are interesting. And, you know, we're changing the way we look at cars and the things we do, whether we have an eco car, whether we have a hybrid, you know, half electric, half diesel, half petrol, whether we have all electric. What's it going to be? What car are you going to have next? By the way, I asked my surgeon if I could administer my own anaesthetic. He says, yeah, go ahead, knock yourself out. Not very funny, really, but there we are. So what cars are we going to have? We have to change Pat's car later this year, and I'm just wondering whether to have a hybrid or what to do. It's quite an interesting thing. There's a thing about electric cars, and I found this electric car poem, so I thought I'd share it with you. Electric cars will be the stars of the future's roads. Cleanly and greenly they will move us and our heavy loads. Plug them in, charge them up from your own plug socket. Proudly put your foot down as you drive around in your electric rocket. As yeah, electric cars do go like the clappers as well. The future is here, the air is clear, because there are no fumes. No more petrol or pumps for the fossil fuel chumps in the icky, oily tombs. I think he lost the plot a bit there. You've been around for many years, though you'd never get very far. But times have changed and it's been arranged. Twinkle, twinkle, electric car. I just wonder, are electric cars going to be the rage in the future? I'm not sure. There could be. Oh, right, Onion Gate. Yes. One or two people have written to me and said, listen, Bob, what happened to the onion pan? Well, I can tell you what happened to the onion pan. It got put outside and then it came in again some hot water went in with some washing powder. And lo and behold, it is now clean. It is, all the burns come off. However, due to a little bit of influence from Barclaycard, today we have apple pan. Yes. I think I can get to the stage now where I shouldn't be allowed anywhere near a stove, either of us, but cremated apples. So apples and onions, don't know what we'll go for next, and hopefully the apples won't be quite as bad as the onions were, but oh dear, I think lockdown is getting to us. There's no doubt about it. Trimmed my own eyebrows today, just call me Nicola. There we are, trimmed my own eyebrows and the little bits at the side. Struggling with the back bits, it's sort of curly and grey and whatever. So a man walked into a library and asks for a book on different levels of noise. The librarian says, sure, what volume would you like? Yeah, that made me smile. So as I was thinking about cars, as when you go to buy a car, you buy from a salesman usually, although you can buy them online now. So you go to see a car salesman, and it just reminded me of the story about the car salesman. And actually, wasn't a car salesman, just an ordinary salesman, selling anything, this particular salesman. Salesman and the doctor and the architect, who used to meet every Friday night in the pub. And they were all drinking, they were all chatting about how successful they were in their own careers, and they were all boasting about their own dogs. and saying they all had wonderful dogs. So they decided that the following week they'd each bring their dog to the pub and then have a bit of a competition to see which was the cleverest. So the next week they're all sitting there, and the architect said, "Right," he said, "I'll go first." So he turns around and goes, "Slide rule." Slide rule comes running up. And he gets a huge bag of bones and he empties it onto the floor and he says, "Go!" And within a minute and a half, Slide Rule has taken the bones and turned them into a complete model of the Forth Railway Bridge, with all the structures and the strange and everything in perfect order. So the other two men looked at this. The old surgeon, doctor surgeon, said, "Well, that's fairly impressive, but watch this. Scalpel!" Scalpel came out. And he says, "Go!" Within a minute and a quarter, Scalpel has demolished the Forth Road Bridge, taken the bones and reformed them into a complete, exact replica of a human skeleton. Every bone is in the right place, the rib cages, humerus and other funny bits, all those things, all there. The old salesman looks and he says, He goes, "Prospect." He says, "Go." Within 30 seconds, Prospect had eaten the bones, made love to the other two dogs, and took the rest of the afternoon off. There we go. That's my joke for today. I just thought that might make you smile. And we had a dog in church one day. Oh, it was a nightmare. Came round and it was lifting its leg everywhere. And then it squatted. And I said to its owner, "That's terrible. What do you call that dog? I've told you this one before." And he said, "Oh, we call it Engineer." So that's interesting. Why do you call it Engineer? He said, "Because it keeps doing little jobs all around the house." I said, "That's great. If I give us a kick at the bottom, will it make a bolt for the door?" So, anyhow, I'm terribly excited because my friends and I have started a new band. Yes, we're calling ourselves Duvet. Yeah, we're a cover band. And yes, okay. So, been quite hyper today, really. I'm not quite sure why, because I've been scammed. So just remember, eco stores, and if you see them advertising shoes or that type of thing on Facebook or anywhere else, don't go near them. I was lucky, I only got done for 41 quid. I have, of course, cancelled my card. New one's coming, new number, all the things that go with that. What's a pain in the neck that is. But there we are. So, so take care with that. And if you've been caught like that, you're in good company. And there you go. There we go. So it's a first world problem, isn't it? But my own fault. Did I need the shoes? No. Did I need sandals? Oh, well, sandals is a rather nice hotel chain, particularly in the Caribbean. I could always do with a fortnight in sandals. But no, didn't really. So there we are. So you look out for each other. Look out for yourselves. Those of you who are working, work hard. Don't work too hard. Those of you who are worrying about jobs or worrying about family with jobs, then, you know, take care and we'll worry with you. Because it is hard at the moment. All this news coming out from the government and U-turns, and thank God for footballers. Don't say that very often, do we? But thank God for footballers. And all those bits. All right, my loves, Tuesday, rolling on to Wednesday. Going to do some recording for the address and first part of our service for Sunday. So I'll get some of that recorded tomorrow. And looking for ways we can get our church open as well. So, let's pray, shall we? Praying for ourselves, praying for those we're worrying about, those who are sick, and giving thanks for those who care for us. Watch thou, dear Lord, with all who wake or watch or weep tonight, and give your angels charge over those who sleep. Tend your sick ones, Lord Christ. Rest your weary ones. Bless your dying ones. Soothe your suffering ones. Pity your afflicted ones. Shield your joyous ones. And all for your love's sake. Amen. I've got a friend who really loves to count. Oh, I wonder what he's up to now. This is 87. Bye.